I have to record this in urgency. Hopefully I can record this long enough. We have a bunch of things to talk about in this video. Number one, I went to Shake Shack today, and there's more to this plot. So look, stick with me. Basically, I went to Shake Shack. I haven't had it in very many years. It was very, very good. But in the car, I got a Lugia Shadow Raid. And Shadow Lugia and Shadow Ho-Oh are apparently spawning in Nagasaki right now, which is where the wild area is, if y'all didn't know, for like the week before we get it. And so I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool. Did the raid. Terrible IVs, which by the way, apparently some YouTubers are saying this is a glitch to where your IVs suck. Like, this is absurd. That is crazy. So there's a glitch where some people in Nagasaki who are doing shadow raids could get 0% IV shadow legendaries, which is nuts. I think Tony TM got like a 004 or something like that, like something crazy. So that might be a glitch. So you might get some bad IVs. However, is what it is. I think this is my first Shadow Lugia. So really happy about that. We've only done 8 raids. Like, obviously this is kind of all Lugias. So we don't have the shiny, which would definitely, I think, be a goal. However, I'm not tripping about it too much because the wild area is going to bring Shadow Darkrai, Shadow Cresselia. Beware is going to be in raids as well. So before we go into in this video, I'll talk about the secret research. And when I say secret, I mean like I knew nothing about it till like 5 minutes ago because it was a bit weird. But first thing, I want to claim this research and I need to power up a Pokemon 10 times. And I think what I want to do is I want to power up some Pokemon almost max, but not max all the way. And the reason I say that is because if I'm going to just do this, Gyarados. The reason I say that is because I know there's research down the line for level up challenges to where you need to do that. A huge Wurmple is really cool. If y'all don't know, I collect XXL and XXS Pokemon because the way you can see it from the Pokédex. So I'm hyped about that, bro. I'm super hyped about that, bro. So that's tough. I think it's my first ever XXL too. We'll take that, bro. XXL. Let's evolve it too, right? Yeah, that's a lot of starters per. All right, you know what? Let's evolve it real quick. Let me know in the comments as we're evolving this. Are y'all excited for the wild area? Dude, this wild area is supposed to be very, very good. People are saying it's the event of the year. And I feel like it low-key was last year, like the Snorlax and stuff. This year, it is the Beware. So I'm pretty hyped for it low-key. What Pokemon do we get? Oh, it's Dustox. Okay. We'll evolve that later. What I do want to do, I want to finish powering up Pokemon. So let's go down a little bit. Let's do... I don't want to do Inteleon. Let's do the... Yeah, let's do this. Yeah, why not? I don't know how I have so much Luxray XL candy. Maybe that's from the community day. But this is a 98% shiny, so might as well power it up a little bit. All right. Candy, as well as the Keldeo as well. So we get 10 Keldeo candy, 3 Candy XL Keldeo as well, 647 XP. Sorry, I'm a grown man. Apologies. All right. Random Mauer Shadow research I don't want to do. And then we'll probably do that later, and hopefully I might do this catch a Pokemon in a party when the wild area actually begins. All right, so this is the research on what I was talking about. So there's a Lucario bonus timed research. Now, why in specific this is a thing, I genuinely have no idea. And when I was also at Shake Shack, a random other invite I got was in New York, which is dope because I live here. But I didn't find it on like my nearby or anything like that. But I got an invite to a Mega Lucario raid. Unfortunately, it wouldn't let me join. It literally was just glitched. Like it was saying like error 36 or something like that. Really weird. So, Lucario, I don't know why, because Mega Heracross and I think Mega Pinsir and Mega Beedrill are like the 3 that are in raids right now. So, I don't know why that's there. And I'm honestly curious on if it's like a Lucario encounter. I would presume so. I'm assuming it's going to be a free Lucario. I just don't know why. Like, why we got that, you feel me? I do need to do one more research though. One more winter raid. I do have a Spiritomb. One last one for the Halloween, and that'll be it till next year. Dude, I bought the ticket. Where's the ticket? Am I blind? Yes. There it is. I bought the ticket from the shop. If y'all don't know, for the wild area, I've made a video on like mainly the big things that you want to look at. I think there's more videos to come though, like secret stuff that you should like be prepared for. But Beware Encounter is just super dope. Minimum 13, 13, 13 IV because it's going to be a mighty Pokemon. Super dope. And I think it's going to have the wild area background, but I could be wrong. As well as Grimmsnarl is super dope. That could be shiny. And I'll even show you, I actually got this early from Nagasaki. Someone sent me an invite, which is super dope. Let me find it right here. Not the best IVs. We'll probably do a couple more of these raids anyway, so I'm not tripping about it. Super dope. Definitely a weird looking Pokemon. I've low-key been catching some gas. Look, 4-star wise, we caught the Latios a couple days ago, but I did a Dynamax raid today. By the way, today's been insane for Pokemon. And we caught a Hundo Krabby, which I do believe this is my second Hundo Krabby. So, super dope. It was one random raid that I did in the passenger seat as we were driving. And it was an extra red light. Like, we just hit the red light. So I'm like, let me just do this raid. And 892, I'm like, that's a really high combat power. It was, because it's the 100%. So super dope. I'm actually going to fact and Krabby. Yeah, I have 2 of them. So I have the normal Dynamax. I know there's the Gigantamax Krabby, whatever. But I have 2 Hundos. That's pretty sick. I think that's pretty dope. That's pretty dope. On top of that, shiny-wise, we caught a Alolan Meowth, which is pretty cool. People say this is 1 in 64. I thought it was 1 in 120. Meowth is just a perma boost. As well as we got a second shiny Paris, which only for, I guess, the next hour. Time you're watching this is already passed, but Paris had a shiny boost for like a week. So we got a second one. Obviously, I already showed these in a different video, but we got the Paris here and the Stantler here, which I've never caught a Stantler before, so I'm really happy about that. Really hyped about that. And then obviously we got the Paris and Meowth today. So 2 shiny boosted today, which will definitely take more lol. Hey, a fun little fact. When you catch this Pokemon, you get more Stardust compared to the normal Pokemon. So make sure you do it. All in all, if y'all have any info about Mega Lucario being in like random raids, let me know. Because I looked at Go Raid Party and didn't really look like much for Mega Lucario. So pretty interesting. And then that was actually interesting IVs on the Morlo. Alright, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go to news. Sorry, I have to like think out loud what I'm doing. Oh, I thought this was gonna tell me the raids. Well, all I can tell you is that Shadow Lugia and Shadow Ho-Oh, we're gonna get a group of raids building up to the wild area. Donwista Crozma is also coming back. Like, just to give you a heads up, I'll make more different videos on the schedule and timing, the best counters for these legendaries coming to the game. So what I recommend you to do after watching this video, try and get as many Pokecoins as possible, whether it's you actually spending on the game or putting Pokemon in gyms. That's where you can get a bunch of Pokecoins to buy remote raids and extra stuff. I appreciate y'all showing up. God bless. Jesus loves y'all. Have a great day. Toodles.